They're the worst.
They're the worst.
Hello, and welcome to Reboot or Deboot. As always, I'm Noah Davis.
I'm John Pena.
And we're here today to talk about A Star is Born, the 1937 film directed by William Wellman and written by Dorothy Parker, Alan Campbell, Robert Carson, based on a story by some other people. Big picture.
It's a movie. It's old. It's got some charm. The acting's aight. Nothing bad.
Thing. I will say I actually like this movie. Not game changing or anything, but especially when you put it in the context of 1937, I think it's actually even better than I feel about it personally. Just objectively, I think it's better than my subjectivity. What was the movie? Was it Rebecca? It might have been Rebecca that I thought was just kind of not great and old. This is actually good and old. So it's not the age sometimes. It's just the execution. Positives? Specific positives?
Yeah, what's her name? The main actress, Janet or whatever?
Gaynor? Something?
Yeah, Janet Gaynor. There it is. She's good.
Yeah, she's good.
Apparently it's her only Technicolor film, which is something.
Interesting.
Same with the main guy. It says like Technicolor debut.
She wasn't a fan of the talkies.
Yeah, them damn talkies. Otherwise, honestly, it was just kind of mids across the board, so I don't really have that many positives or negatives. Like, we can talk about specific things that I liked. I just don't know that they're positives, They were fine. And again, I think largely it's just in the context of, like you said, with Rebecca being a 1940 movie, this is 1937. It turns out, yes, they can still do good things. Interestingly, I guess one of the positive, I'll give it a positive. This is not the thing I liked.
I was about to say, I don't think I'd call this movie mids.
They do that whole let's look at the script rather than a text intro, which is kind of neat. Because it's a movie about movies.
Yeah, it's a very meta presentation. That's one of my positives.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. Like, again, do I love it? No, but it's neat, and it's got to be one of the first of its kind.
I was about to say, in the context of 1937, I love it. If this was a new movie that did it, I wouldn't care for it whatsoever. I would just be, say, oh, meta, great.
And because we have 3 of these coming up, I'll just get it out of the way and say I like now knowing that the name of Bradley Cooper's character in the 2018 one is an homage. That's cool.
What was his name?
I forget exactly if his first name is Jackson, but it's something Maine. And this guy's name is like Jake Maine or some shit.
Yeah, Norman Maine.
Yeah. So Norman Maine, Jackson Maine. Homage.
Okay, I'll do my positives because it doesn't seem like you had a ton. I just kind of enjoyed. It's honestly the same that I felt with what was that movie? Not Rebecca, Sabrina, where it just had that kind of affable charm, even though there was literal, suicide in the movie. Whereas Sabrina only, hinted at suicide and still had some charm, some quirky charm. I mean, I enjoyed the comedy of this movie. Like when when her grandma's talking about how she's pioneering and how the engines killed her dad or her husband. I mean,
yeah.
Or how when she's trying to impress the producers at that party and she's a cocktail waitress. I just thought those were, cringe inducing, but still funny at the same time. I mean, there's just a ton of gags that I enjoyed. And I honestly think the gags carried the movie a lot. I mean, just the occurrences, or not the conversations, but the actions between him trying to kind of court her to his side. I mean, the whole, let me get one good look at you, one more good look at you or whatever. There's and then the or the circle back around to when spoilers he kills himself and says it before he kills himself. I really like that. I mean, again, I just think a lot of the jokes I enjoyed a ton. It's not the most dramatic drama you'll ever watch. I can say that for sure. But it kept this kind of lighthearted feel until it wasn't, until
Hmm.
until the turn when Norman Maine killed himself, and that's when I was about to get emotional. But literally, the next scene is kind of played up not for laughs, but almost in opposite or in opposition to the suicide. It's that the publicist who's saying, "How do you send a telegraph to the Pacific Ocean to say congratulations or
Right.
whatever?"
Right. I was gonna say that's one of my other positives is that guy specifically.
I do
He's
like that guy.
funny. Yeah.
I just
He's
think
funny.
that specific sequence it should have been handled a little better with maybe a little more delicacy because I was really feeling emotional and then immediately after he's like making these quips about the dude sucking. And I'm just thinking, well, yeah, but now I'm not emotional anymore because this, jagweed. Like, so that's actually I guess that would be one of my only negatives, would be that sequence right there. But again, I mean, the script didn't really waste time. I don't think there was a ton of buffer or filler or anything like that. I think it was appropriate. It was on the edge of being really smart. I think it maybe could have, impressed us a little more, but still I don't think there was any fat or yeah, there's no fat. It trimmed all the fat off its script. Um, and my biggest problems, I guess we'll get into it in a second, but honestly, my biggest maybe only issues were just the of the timeness of the movie. You got any other positives?
No, my literal other one was that guy, Lionel Stander, apparently is his name. I had a wiki open just to say that he was like one of these first left wing people. He like started the Screen Actors Guild.
Hmm.
He was one of the first people during the whole House Un-American Activities Committee, looking
Huh.
for commies in the 30s.
Yeah,
He was like one of the
McCarthy.
first people subpoenaed and blacklisted
It
for
was like the
that.
50s, but yeah.
Nope, 40s. I'm reading it right
Oh, well,
here.
you said 30s, so split down the middle, son.
Well, the committee started in 1918, so and
Wow, we weren't really. When did the Red Scare start? That's when it really
but
is
that's
an
not what this
issue.
is about. So
Yeah, finding commies.
suck it.
Yeah, that's literally what the Red Scare is about.
I'm saying even at this point in time, that was what he was tied for. Like,
Man, I didn't realize they were just looking for commies everywhere. Even before that, I guess.
yeah, man. First
Yeah,
World War has commies as one of the underlying plots. We're getting distracted here. This is not a history podcast, okay?
it could be
Yeah.
the worst
Movie.
historians coming to a
Yeah, that's true.
podcast host near you.
Exactly. The worst
Uh,
movie historians. We don't even review movies anymore. We review the history behind them.
I
Blech.
mean, that
No.
doesn't sound crazy, but I feel like there's probably already 1,000 podcasts that already do that. If you don't have any more positives, I have one more.
Go for it.
I really like the character work. I think the characters seem to evolve. The main woman, Vicky, or what's her real name? Is Vicky Lester, but what's her real name?
Hmm. Please
Whatever.
hold.
Uh,
Esther Blodgett.
Esther, yes. I think Esther, we got to literally see her come up as a naive, down on her luck, no work actress, and then we got to see her become the actual person she became to be. We got to see Norman Main's kind of downfall where he wasn't in a good place, but he went even lower, I loved even how they set up all the characters, especially the movie producer where he's literally denying requests and movie productions in his sleep and denying budgets in his sleep and then he picks up the phone and it's a literal gold-plated phone. I just think they're very, I wouldn't say sophisticated, but I think they're very what's the right word? Subtle's not the right word. It's just it's present, you know, it's very apparent, and there's no
Right.
need
There's
for
clear choices made that are artistic and well done.
yes, and I think they go a long way to display what each character is about. I mean, the movie producer, you get him immediately. Norman Maine, you get him immediately. Lester, Esther, that's it. Esther, you get her immediately. I mean, there are only a couple characters that you actually take time to learn. I mean, even the publicist, just right off the bat, he's, you know, a firecracker. He's just shooting back all the quips and denying everything and saying, you know, we can't do that name or whatever. He hears her name for the first time and immediately goes to the producer. I just think there's a ton of that. Just a nice character work, balanced out, actual character development, and not just static and nothing and unwavering. I hate that. So it's good when it actually works. And it's good when, you know, it's an old ass film that's almost what? 100 years old? It's 90,
Holy
90
hell.
some years
That's
old.
crazy to say, and I hate that and take that back.
No, I won't take it back for saying an 88 year old movie is almost 100 years old. Or, yeah, 88 years. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, all of this is super impressive for an 88-year-old movie. I mean, there's just a ton. Or even the small touches, like when they are showing the film where they show Esther and Norman go to the movies, and the movie they're watching is in black and white, but we're watching the color movie. I mean, there's really nice stylistic choices that I really enjoy. Um, I'm trying to drag this on because I don't have a lot of negatives, if any at all. So, anything more?
No, I'm ready to get to the letterboxes and wiki stuff, but also
I'll touch
bear in
up
mind
on.
it's fine if this one's quick because we also have two other ones to include in the same episode. So
That's true, but still, it's a whole week's worth of, you know. I'll just touch up on negatives. I think literally all my negatives, I don't have much other than what I said before, that sequence of the suicide and it being followed up by kind of this weird humorous comeuppance. I don't know. I didn't like it. No, all my negatives are it's of the time. I mean, whether it was the audio or the transitions or just kind of the main characters didn't really overact. I enjoyed them, but what's the clerk at the motel or wherever she's staying, the room
Mhm.
place, I thought he was just overacting. I mean, to the point that it's like, come on, guys, I know this is kind of a dramedy situation, but this guy wasn't even funny, and he's just
Right, like the looking into the
overacting.
purse bit thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then charging her the bill and then taking the bill and ripping it up. And I'm thinking, dog, that's a month's worth of rent. What are you doing? You own the place. I mean, it's not funny how it's supposed to be funny. It's funny because that means insane. You know, why would you do that? I mean, yeah, she's poor, but I mean, come on. That's a whole month's of rent for nothing. Okay, sure. Yeah. All right. Good deed. But yeah, my negatives are just kind of the time stuff, and I don't know, just stuff like that where the overacting kind of gets in the way of an actual fun drama. I mean, or the very simplistic view of the world, like the whole DUI scene. I thought was very childish in a way. It just felt, I don't even know, forced isn't the right word, but it's along those lines where it felt forced in that it had to have a conflict and she had to sort of save the day. And it's just, I don't know, you're in a courtroom and the judge is just going to let the wife run up past the barrier and plead for the judge and say, hey, I'm going to take him into custody. And maybe that
It's
is
white
how it,
people in the
I
30s.
was about to
Yeah,
say, maybe that is
that's
how it
possible.
worked. White people in the 30s. So maybe it's actually a clever, representation and critique. But it didn't feel like that when I watched it. It just kind of felt like they were forcing these scenes together to try and create some sort of solution to whatever the problem, some sort of resolution. And I don't know, kind of felt forced is all. Other than that, though, I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I don't know if
Actually,
I would watch it anytime soon, but
Yeah,
I
I'm
enjoyed
not
it.
gonna ever rewatch this, but I do have not necessarily positive, but a big picture interesting thought, and maybe we'll have to revisit it in the context of the other movies. But
Hmm.
given that this is the only one with this plot, I am interested to see how much different it feels related to the other ones because again, it's not wildly different. There's still the celebrity and the sort of I want to be rich and famous and I'm from small town USA,
Hmm.
but the lack of musicality I think is going to make this inherently different and is why this one's not as popular. But I do think it gives the characters a certain other charm and they do lean on again the movie making of it all with
That's
the
yep,
again script and screenplay
yep.
stuff and the big Hollywood stuff and the Academy Awards. It does just feel a little bit more on the nose in a light way. So it'll be interesting to see how it contrasts from the I want to be a big superstar singer and this guy's a drunk, former superstar singer kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that maybe not my issue, but my fear or my worry is that instead of this fun meta of kind of not really fourth wall breaking, but fourth wall acknowledging, tongue in cheek way Hollywood is making fun of itself, we're gonna get Hollywood not making fun of itself. And I think that, well, I guess maybe the 50s musicals, Hollywood is probably more, involved at that time. But still, I really hope that's not lost because I think the beauty of this 30s version is that it is a movie. A Broadway play making fun of Broadway is a fun idea. You take that Broadway play and make it into a movie, it might be good, but it's not going to have that same novelty and it might lose some of that originality just because of the medium it's in. So I really hope, I guess we can get to our hopes and wishes for the next one, but I really hope they somehow balance that act. Again, 50s Hollywood, probably more in line with, musicals or theater and stuff before they fully separated. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm just afraid that there might be a certain charm that is lost in the next one. Do you have any thoughts on what you want from the next one? The
For it,
1954 version?
yeah, for it to be good, you know.
Boo. Specific. Boo.
I mean, like I said, I hope again because I love the 2018 one so much that that one is probably paying a little bit more homage to this one. And so hopefully it's good and holds up and was worthy of being remade in what I suspect to be quote unquote realistic way. Um, I fear, it's the 50s. Uh, I think it tracks for being one of the more bad decades of movie making, but
We just haven't watched enough, or we've been convinced by cinephiles that the movies that are good are actually good, whereas we'd probably like the movies that are fine or whatever.
right. Which is
So I
fair.
don't know.
I also don't have strong opinions about Judy Garland because who gives a shit about
I've
Wizard
only
of
seen
Oz?
her in Oz. Who gives
Yeah.
a shit
So
about Oz? Go fuck yourself.
I mean, I don't think I'm known for having the least hot takes. So
And I can say go fuck yourself. But honestly, since we've already seen the Gaga Cooper version, um, I enjoyed that movie. But
you
just
just didn't
as
like
I
the
said,
musical.
well, it is a musical, but just as I said, it does kind of lose the charm because the whole entire commentary on Hollywood and actors is completely lost in that version. So that one actually might be hinting at what's to come, and I hope not, but
Right.
but it might be inescapable at this point. Any other things they could fix or things that are going to be terrible for the next
I
one?
really don't think so. Like I said, I mean, I had few positives. I had no negatives. All they can do is fuck it up, in my opinion. Really, I don't have expectations that it's like markedly better unless the acting or for some reason 50s music, haha, is better, um, or like improves the underlying movie. I just
Right.
doubt it.
I I sincerely hope they tackle the suicide, as I said earlier, a lot with a lot more delicacy, with a more delicate touch, so I can actually feel for a second, and let my heart take over instead of just immediate next scene.
Right. That's why I love the 2018 one. Is there's no ambiguity that he's about to fucking kill himself, and then he does fucking kill himself, and it is sad.
Yeah, I mean, I think this one would have been really efficient or would have been really sad with that scene if it just let it breathe for just a couple more, just a minute, literally just a minute or two, let it breathe. And I think it could have literally changed this movie to like, oh wow, I actually really enjoyed this instead of, I liked it. Um, Other than that though, I mean, I kind of see the runtime might be a thing. If it's any longer, that might be pushing it. The original songs are going to have to be so good that they don't detract from the already good script. I mean, like you said, 50s music being good or helping, I don't know. It's a little dicey. Uh, and the acting was already solid. So, yeah, not saying there's no room for up, but there's a lot of room for down. There's a ton of room for down. And I really hope that's not the case. But Letterboxd Wiki?
Yeah. Wiki first. Budget 1.2 milli in the 50s. Made
Jesus.
double it, 2.37. Pretty good.
Jesus. I guess that's pretty good, especially because they probably had some sort of deals with theaters and they could make money elsewhere instead of now where they just sell the streaming rights and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, and inflation, I want to say that's like 200 mil or some shit. 22 mil, something like that.
You would
Let's
think.
see.
I mean,
I had it written.
if a
Yeah,
room
22
is,
mil.
I
22 mil.
was about to say, if a room is $6 to rent, $24 a month, we times that by how much it is to rent nowadays in Hollywood. Like,
So, yeah, it's about 22 mil to make. So 44 mil it ended up making. Not bad.
nice, good money.
Um, Other stuff. There's the like reception sort of at the time. It did obviously fairly well. Got a bunch of noms at the Academy Awards. Won Best Original Story is what it used to be called, as opposed to like screenplay or anything like that.
Sure.
Um, and then it got some kind of like Academy Honorary Award, which is also not a thing anymore, but it's just like for extra special circumstances, some dude's last movie kind of thing, but they don't throw them in like the in memoriam. They'll like bless the movie of theirs with the thing. Otherwise, nothing big on like interesting production stuff. It was just a movie that was made and
You tell
actors
me
that were of the time.
you're telling me the main characters weren't dating for 2 years, then broke up, and then the woman
Exactly.
had a
Stalking
baby.
and blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
And then they
Yeah.
did
No,
lop
none
a
of that.
scene? No? Okay.
No. But I think just perusing the 50s one, we will have some tea to talk about.
Nice.
Letterboxed.
Oh, hold on. Before you go on, I did
Mhm.
read where what's her face? Gainer. She apparently when she was older, like before she died, she got in this terrible car crash caused by this ex-cop who should have been arrested beforehand of drunk driving, and the injuries basically killed her. So go cops, right?
Yeah, we love cops. This is the cop podcast, cop history podcast.
Now we're talking.
Blue Lives Matter.
I was about to say the blue critics, the worst. I was trying to think of
Yeah.
something. Okay.
In Blue Critics.
Nice.
Yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, Letterboxd. Oh no, I was gonna say too. I had her thing open. She became an oil painter.
Hmm.
So and like accomplished, sold lots of works and stuff.
To be
All right,
fair, when you have the name already, I bet selling is super easy.
I guess that's true.
Just saying.
So 3.5 stars by Sri. That ain't that rah bitch.
I don't get that one.
Me neither. It's for the kids, but someone out there is laughing. That's all that matters. 2.5 stars by Noelle. She never even got to finish her sandwich. Speaking of overacting, by the way, that bit was not good.
Yeah, yeah, I
It
don't
was a
love it.
small little like PB&J kind of thing. She couldn't
Yeah,
put her mouth
I
on
was
it.
confused what was on the sandwich because it looked like they just had a hunk of beef, and I'm thinking, what
Yeah.
fucking sandwich is that?
I think that was the point, is like she didn't want to eat it and it looks like shit. And he just made like a steak and put it between white bread. But
They should
the
have
idea that
more
she
to
couldn't
that.
open her mouth wide enough was interesting, to say the least.
They should have more to
Um,
that.
the best one, 4 stars, Rach, quote, "You mind if I just take one more look, walked?" So, quote, "I just wanted to take another look at you, could run," which is the 2018 one, Bradley Cooper. Ugh. I need to moist just
Oh,
thinking about it. I mean, what?
we all know,
What's
John.
it?
Everyone listening, they know.
Yeah, they already knew.
Bradley Cooper makes your pants wet. We get it. We got it.
He's the
Okay.
goat, dude.
Just like that one guy in Luck Key made my pants wet. We get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True, true.
Hard to watch that movie, honestly. Okay, I think that's it for part one.
Part
Oh,
one of
actually, you know what?
three.
It's not the end because I had one very slight etc. point. When they went to the boxing match and there was a boxer named Garcia, is it normal to say Garcia?
Is it normal?
Well, I'm
No.
saying, is there any other dialect where Garcia is actually said Garcia, or is that just white America having trouble with
Probably white America
pronunciation?
having trouble, or like maybe it's like a UK thing.
I was just wondering. I mean, because like English, it makes sense. If you had never seen the word Garcia, you might say Garcia, sure, but I've never
Oh no.
heard Garcia said Garcia.
Interesting. Yeah. Garsha. That is the UK pronunciation on a Google AI overview.
Huh. Huh. Okay.
Was
Well,
the guy British? I don't remember that.
I mean, Norman Maine, the character was not British, so maybe the actor was, and it kind of seeped over. You never know. But yeah, he kept saying Garcia, and I'm like, that's Garcia, dog. uh, but no, that's about okay. That's it for part one.
Um,
Okay, that's part one. Join us in a couple seconds when we talk about A Star is Born, the 1954 version. And welcome back to part two. Today we are talking about A Star is Born, the 1954 version, directed by George Cukor and written by Moss Hart. Big picture.
Holy moly! Does this feel like 4 hours?
Yeah, yep. Well, I'll provide some background to the audience. We had to watch it on Fandango, uh, and so there are commercial breaks. And not only did the movie feel long, we had to sit through commercial breaks. So the movie literally did feel as though it were what, 3 hours, 3.5 hours? Because it
Oh,
was
well, it is 2 hours 55 minutes runtime
right.
plus the 40-ish minutes of ads.
Yeah, so 3.5 hours, and that might be less of a problem if the movie itself didn't feel the way it does, but it definitely feels the way it does. This is not a quick movie at all, any shape or form. Period. It's not quick at all. But what'd you think?
Um, this is a spoiler, but
Big spoilers.
well, it's not really a spoiler in terms of the movie, just it's spoilers in terms of my feelings about it.
Mm-hmm.
There is a letterbox that summarizes my entire feelings.
We'll
So
wait.
at the end of the episode, exactly, we'll hear exactly my feelings of the episode. But you know, I can see
Mm-hmm.
why this one everyone then wanted to remake.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But it is everything I hate about these types of movies
Mm-hmm.
all in one movie. It's all sing-songy. The sing-songs tell the plot that the story and the non-sing-songy stuff already told.
Hold on. Yes, but I will say all of the sing-songy was explainable in world.
Of course, I didn't say it wasn't explainable. I
Well,
just
you
said,
call it sing-song, so I don't know what you mean by that.
I'm saying there was plot. Then there was sing-songy stuff that then described the previous plot we already watched.
Yeah, but they
Then there was
barely.
plot. Then there was some sing-songy stuff, which again is now just character being character. Then there's sing-songy stuff,
I just
and
wanted to
then
put
there's
it
character being
into
character.
context because all of the singing, I'm pretty sure all the singing is in world and not an actual musical meta thing, whatever you want to call that. I'm
Right.
just adding that in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. It is not meta. It is just a. Did they have to have it? Did it aid the story? No, I
Yeah,
don't think so.
we might be straying into negatives with our big picture, but I
No, well,
do
no, no, no. I
want to.
just no. I wait. That was part of the big picture.
Oh,
So
but I
there's the
wanted to talk
sing-songy
about it.
stuff.
Yeah,
I
but I wanted
no,
to.
no.
Okay.
That's not the big picture. We talk about it in
Sorry.
the pros and the cons. The
My
big
bad.
picture, there's no
I
debates.
forgot. I forgot.
Then the other caveat I'll say is that it is a pretty movie,
Mm-hmm.
despite the fact that they then do the cutting stuff, which we will get to in the
Oh,
negatives. There you go.
we'll
That's the
get
big
to
picture.
that. Yeah, my big picture is that it's okay. I didn't absolutely hate this movie. It's better than a lot of movies I've seen. I don't know. There's something to me that was lost in trying to force it into a musical frame. I, it, I don't know. It felt less inspired. Kind of just okay. I get it. I've seen this story before. I mean, we literally did see this story before, but
Yeah, and
uh,
it's crazy. It's the exact same story.
I mean, it's very close, and we'll get into that. It's very close after a certain point, but yeah, I think it's an okay movie. I think our biggest maybe point of whatever you want to call it contention will be is it a reboot or not? But we'll get to that in the end. My big picture is that it was okay. It's watchable. It's a little long, but it's watchable. Specific positives.
All right. Specific positive.
Yep.
Uh, one, just the visuals,
Yep.
cool direction for the most part. Like
Mm-hmm.
some of those scenes where she's sort of recapping the story of her life through song as an actress and singer. Very cool. Like the going through the door stuff, and you know what I'm talking
Like
about, that scene?
the red scene.
Red scene. Now you
Yeah, where
lost me.
everything's red.
Oh, yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, in that
Okay.
whole arc there.
Yeah, because I actually really enjoyed parts like that because it's a musical movie in world in the movie that we are watching in the movie. Last week I said I was kind of afraid of the whole meta thing being lost, and I guess there were a couple of layers lost there. But I guess since musicals were so popular in the 50s, that it is still a meta look at Hollywood at the time. So it actually did pretty well, especially with scenes like you're talking about, where you get to you get that weird singy exposition, but they have an explanation for it. So it's nice and, easily digestible and not just, okay, song time.
I think one of the other um I mean, it's a specific scene. It also has to do with sing-songy stuff, but we'll get it out of the
Mm-hmm.
way too.
Mm-hmm.
What we hated about the 30s, well, not hated. What we thought was stupid about the 30s one was when he's like, "Oh, I'm just a homebody now, and I know how to cook a potato sandwich or whatever the fuck he
We're
made."
getting to that
And now
already,
this
huh?
time, yeah, now this time he makes another big sandwich, and it's still like not that big of a
Lettuce?
sandwich. But she then does like a really cool sort of not one shot, but one shot adjacent sing song thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was okay. That was fun. It was way more fun than the original.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
if they only had that one and not like the five other ones they did, I think that would have been a better version.
Yeah, I think it did get a little muddled just because of again, this movie literally took, I mean, almost every single element of the 30s version and then just added music. So there's kind of this you're almost waiting for the singing to start and the actual dialogue is kind of secondary, and I don't think that's a great outcome of making a musical. Um but yeah, I don't know. I mean, like you said, there is some fun to it, especially that one where she's in the dinner or whatever. And I mean, I'll just say it. Judy Garland is fun to watch. I mean, there's a reason she was popular at the time. Um, but I enjoyed her when she was singing with the band at the very beginning. I really enjoyed that shot of just the constant seeing the band in the background. And there's actually some pretty impressive scenes, especially near the beginning. It kind of got lost near the end. But there are a lot of impressive scenes with the directing and just even the costuming and the set. And again, just those small things. It might not be crazy good, but especially those that red scene I was talking about, that those costumes are fucking awesome and the set's great and it's believable that it's a movie within a movie. I mean, there's a lot going on here, you know?
I mean, yeah, a lot is probably even an understatement because when you
Yeah.
have 3 hours of shit,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to not feel like there's not a lot. I will say, for the most part, outside of Judy Garland, I thought the acting was fine. I
Fine.
thought initially, what's his name, the main guy, was doing
Norman.
good, and there were some scenes where he was doing the drunk acting that I was happy with and thought was better than the 30s version. And then it just got a little played out. His little English plus like transatlantic
Mm-hmm.
accent was super
Super
obnoxious. Like
weird.
then it became overacting, and then there was the whole like fake punch shit at the bar again. I was like, okay, never
Mm-hmm.
mind. It's the same fucking movie, just longer.
yeah, yeah, I will agree. I think Judy Garland did a great job, and I think the publicist guy, I think he did a
Mm,
great job. But
mm-hmm.
other than that, mm, I don't know. Here's the thing with this movie. I think the original one was actually more of a comedy drama, whereas this one's more of just a drama musical with some fun stuff. The like a lot of the gags were taken out, a lot of the jokes were taken out, and that just
Yeah.
leaves you with this weird impression of like when you said the overacting. There's no quirky, sort of quality to it. You can't. It's not as though they're in on the joke because it's not supposed to be funny. Yet they do a punch like that, and oh, whatever. I mean, like the what was the movie Rebecca or not Rebecca, Sabrina. When they did the stupid hokey punches, it was whatever. I mean, it's a comedy. Hokey punch, okay. But then this movie, there's a hokey punch, and it just immediately stands out.
Right. It literally lands flat.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
Yeah, I know. I know. The other thing I think about it, and you said it perfectly, like the musical drama versus a drama comedy or dramedy,
hmm
is that you have these expectations from the first one into this one, which I don't think are necessarily right because I don't think most people are
No.
doing what the fuck we do when we watch four of the same movie over and over and again.
Well, they
But
shouldn't.
yeah, and by the way, this is your recommendation. I probably just watch the first one if I had to guess based on these two, but
For right now.
um, the expectation for me was more like Singing in the Rain, if I had to guess. Like I thought it was going to be
Right.
like very kind of light, comical, ha ha ha,
Yes.
and then it was like, no, we just sing randomly, but it's a pretty like drama
hmm
heavy movie. So
Somber.
that's yeah, it just was weird. I wasn't a fan, and I really need to get into the negatives.
Yeah, I do too, but we got a couple more.
Like, all right,
so,
wait, just get through
so
them quickly.
no, okay. I thought the script was clever at times, but other than kind of taking out the jokes, I don't know if that was actually a net positive or not. So I will say it's clever, but if you add in my negative that's going to come up, I don't know if it's in that positive. It just happens to be a positive. I enjoyed how I don't know if this was a thing of the time or something, but all of the actors seemed to feel as though they were just regular looking people and not just these glam movie stars. I mean, even Norman Maine didn't really look like this glam movie star to me.
No,
Uh,
no, he
yeah,
looked mids.
yeah, exactly. And I feel as though almost everyone in this movie was like that, and it added this sort of cool realism to it. So I think that did kind of help the drama aspect. Um, Oh, one of my positives. I enjoy that they basically just kept it to the original. I mean, again, there's some changes, but hey, they didn't change anything that completely ruined everything. There's nothing like that. They kept to the actual, beats and the actual flow of the plot, whether they got there the same way or not, whatever. But I enjoy that they were able to just kind of tweak whatever they wanted without kind of obfuscating the original plot. Um, I think that's about it. I already talked about set design and costuming, rad. All of Judy Garland's outfits were fucking awesome. And I think that's all my positives. We can get negatives.
Um, First negative for me is he's just a problem this whole movie, which is very different than the first one.
Mm-hmm. He's never
The first
fun.
one, yeah, the first one he was like some kind of charming gentleman, and this one he basically is like alluding to assaulting her and forcibly taking her on a date. That's their first interaction, and she goes, "Well, he is a little charming." And you're like, "What, bitch?"
yeah. Yeah, if
Even
she
though him drunk on stage being a clown and harassing you and grabbing you and threatening the fucking dude you're with is charming.
Yeah, well, she said he has a certain charm or whatever. If she had not
Right.
explicitly said that, I would have not gotten that she thought that, you know? I don't think anyone should have thought that. So maybe that piece of dialogue was like, oh shit, maybe he's just an asshole. We need to remind the audience that he's not.
Right. She loves him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. This is like fucking Stockholm syndrome or some shit.
I'll say it's pretty similar of Rebecca original version, where we have this implied sense of charm, and it doesn't help anything. It kind of detracts because you're thinking, why the fuck does she care about this dude?
Who knows? I mean, I don't have a reason. Not one
Well, yeah.
justifiable reason.
It's more rhetorical, but yeah, thank you.
So that was my problem number one.
Mm-hmm.
Problem number two, and we could just hit this one because I know it's definitely on both of our lists.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have three different versions of this movie, and this is the one that's on streaming platforms?
I I sincerely do not know what to tell you. Do you want to add the context?
Yes. So initially, there was a movie. It was 182 minutes long, and people, aka the studio and director or whoever, thought, no, ain't no way. And so they cut it down to the sort of general theatrical release version, 150 minutes. And then later, the director was like, nah, I want my OG version back, or the studio said they want the OG version back, but they lost the films to time and or intentional destruction. And so then they just cut in like studio footage and like the DP's sort of behind the scenes shots with the actual audio from the scenes that they still had. So you get these like, 2 to 5 minute scenes of literal stock photos of the actors and scenes and stages. And it doesn't make any sense and it sucks.
And it is egregious. The one sequence, the biggest sequence, is over 4 minutes long of looking at pictures that are panning side to side to show you someone walking, or they show Norman looking at the fire. So they zoom in on his eyes, but they also zoom in on the fire, and then they have them kind of dissolved over each other so they're transparent. And it's so jarring. I mean, it made this movie so much worse just because of that. I mean, a total of 6 minutes maybe, and it's just not unwatchable, but it deflates any momentum the movie has at that point over and over. I mean, it does it
right at multiple points.
Yeah. It does a big sequence, then a handful of small sequences. And it's just, and sometimes the audio wasn't even the whatever, not ADR, I'm sure it was whatever, it was different back then, but it wasn't even the officially recorded audio half the time. It was the whatever boom mic audio they had. And it's just so bad. When they show the picture of the boat, and
Yeah.
Norman's on a boat, I guess. Yeah, the audio they use is just whatever they recorded on set, and it's oh man, it is abrupt, and it only takes away from the movie.
Yeah. And again, it could only go to say that this had to be done for some weird, selfish reason and had nothing to do with like the intent behind the original movie. Because I mean, or it was like the inspiration for every fucking like art house movie that has ever come out since then. Because like I don't understand why you would choose to do those things rather than just leave them be, because they were clearly cut for like an OG purpose.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Anyway, so that's my number two. You want to hit some of your negatives and then I'll circle back?
I kind of touched up on my drama comedy thing, but I think they lost some of the charm and the funniness and the humor of the original. It's not necessarily a negative for the movie in a vacuum, but reboot or deboot, it is a negative because some of the things, just like you said, her falling or her falling for Norman just didn't really read right. The fact that she doesn't have the family from the original and the family doesn't come back like in the original, and just kind of nothing. There's nothing before this movie for Judy Garland's character. Like there's no lead up. It's just boom, Judy Garland is discovered, and I don't know. I think that loses a little something. It kind of there's nothing. There's no build up, no ramp whatsoever. You're just kind of thrown in, which can work, but the original I think did it better. So you know, uh, I will say, I mean, this is very obvious, and we already touched on it. The length of the movie was just wild. I don't know
Yeah.
how this happened.
No, I wanted to say it again. I agree. Too long. Crazy that they cut 30 minutes out of this thing and then restitched like 28 of them back. Like, why?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah, it was too long. Even, I mean, if you incorporate the pictures that aren't even the complete scenes, it was still too long. So I couldn't even imagine how long this movie actually was before they, I guess, edited the first edit. I could not
Oh, yeah, yeah.
imagine.
They probably had literal weeks worth of film.
Yeah. And when I think about it, just try and do the mental math, I don't know what they added other than music.
I mean,
I mean, there are
I
scenes, I
think there are,
guess.
yeah, I think it's a lot of these scenes that I think their intent was to help further establish their relationship, like the fact that he couldn't get a hold of her, and then he goes on this wild goose chase to find her, and
Right.
that then they're
Yes.
still in love, and she's working even though he never got her a job. Like
Hmm.
that's like 20-ish minutes of the movie that is completely unnecessary.
Yeah. Fully agree. I mean,
Like I think it was mostly those things that they cut out.
I
If I
guess
had
that
to
makes
guess.
sense. I guess
Probably
that
their marriage and that kind of stuff. Like there's a lot of these, oh, we're furthering the story, but it's not really furthering the story because we know what the story
right.
is because we watched the first one.
Yeah, I think the problem is that it whatever they added in my mind didn't actually add to anything. So that's why I can't think of anything. Oh, of course this movie's an hour longer. I don't I mean, sure. I mean, yeah, mathematically, it's just when I'm trying to, parse it all out, I can't because I guess like you said, it's kind of fluffy. It's just kind of buffer for the next scene or to, like you said, establish their connection, even though it just didn't work at all. Uh, any other negatives? I have one specific one, but that's kind of it.
No, that's all.
Okay, I had one specific one since we talked about the editing of the photos and stuff. Did you catch that line that was clearly, or that scene that was clearly edited or cut abruptly at near the end?
I did not actually. Now that I'm thinking back on it.
It was when her old bandmate is trying to cheer her up after Norman, spoilers, killed himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh he's saying something, he's trying to just speak sense into her, and it cuts and she's on where she was beforehand, but her conversation is responding to something that just didn't make sense. She's like, well, I don't want your tricks or whatever to take my mind off it. I don't know her exact words, but she talks about like, I don't want your remedies or whatever she says, and it just comes out of nowhere because he had nothing. I mean, he didn't say anything like that. Yet it's cut very abruptly, and then boom, she's responding to something that I don't think was ever said or mentioned. So it's weird. Even with all this photo stuff, the editing still isn't perfect. Or, they're still missing slots in the actual movie and not just, oh, this entire scene was cut. It's, oh, wait, how'd they lose that? Or why'd they cut that part? And I don't know. It's just a lot of questionable decisions, and that's a very big one for me. But I think that's all my negatives.
Well,
Reboot, deboot,
uh,
boot.
I Deboot
I
for
think
sure.
I think you are correct. The music is good. I'll say that. If you like musicals, then it might be a reboot, but if not, definite deboot. Judy Garland can't hold it all, you know. It was too much of the world was on her shoulders at the time, I guess. But she could not carry this movie. I do have a weird amount of etc.
Wait, a weird amount of etc.
Yeah, just random notes I have.
Interesting.
like like uh
Well,
like Judy Garland looking like she's 50 even though she's what, 33.
oh yeah. I mean, yeah,
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 that's really weird. I mean, I know she was like chain smoking cigarettes when she was 17 on the set of Wizard of Oz or something like that. I'm just thinking, is that what cigarettes do to you? Just
yeah. That and banging out barbiturates every day for 20 plus years.
I also wanted to talk about, it's not a negative or a positive per se, but why do you think they changed it from this nobody getting into the business to this nobody already in the business? You know, did that change anything or add
Mm,
anything to the story?
no, and again, maybe it's contextual for the time. Like maybe that's how the tropes sort of moved
Hmm.
then. But no, no idea. It didn't. Most of every decision they made to make it a different movie did not benefit the movie in and of itself.
Yeah. Okay. I was just making sure.
So,
Also,
so yeah, no.
so actors just worked for companies in this day and age of Hollywood?
Yeah, because I think what you did is you signed a contract with the studio, and
Right.
then you were sort of not necessarily always their lead, but you were going to work in their films and sort of their films alone.
Yeah, I meant to talk about it in the first part, but it's just that's really interesting because that's just not how it works anymore. And I wonder when that shift happened.
When they stopped making, like, can you imagine? They had fucking movies for like a dime a ticket. Like
Sure.
every week there was a new movie coming out. It was like, oh, this is Buster driving a train. And it's just 60 minutes of a dude pulling the freaking levers. Like, nah, dog.
I'll also
It
say,
probably
oh,
changed around this time, if I had to guess, like 50s, 60s.
yeah. I'll say that this was actually a positive, but for some reason I didn't put it in there. The shot with the beach house where Norman is in the bed and Judy Garland and the producer are talking on the deck, and they
Uh-huh.
reflected the projection screen so that it looked like it was on the windows reflecting the ocean. I thought that was a genius idea. Just
Pretty cool.
some smart guy thought of that. Another one, I love how lead men in old movies are just so skinny and just person looking, you know? Whereas nowadays you have to be
Right.
super
Literally look like
buff.
Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's funny. Like when he was taking off his jacket one time, I was just thinking, holy shit, I think I have more like weight than that guy. So I just, it's just kind of curious how that all transpired. Also, you said there was blackface.
Yeah.
Which part was blackface?
When she was doing her sing-songing stuff,
Hmm.
sort of story of her life, and she was, I think, playing like the maracas or something, and the setting was meant to be either like the Caribbean or South America,
Uh-huh.
and a dude interrupts her and says like, "Oh, you need to play this song."
Oh yeah. Huh.
Those
Huh.
people were all in blackface.
Huh.
And then they go to some other place and she's dressed sort of more like a nightgown, singing. It's the same exact song, and everyone is white, and it's the same dude, and he goes by, "You need to sing blah 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 by whoever," and she
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, you rascal."
Huh.
But yeah,
Maybe
definitely
that says
blackface
more about me.
for
I don't
sure,
know.
for sure, blackface.
Maybe
Every
my
per and it wasn't. It was just her not in blackface, and literally everyone else in blackface in the scene.
maybe
And
I
there's
was
probably
just
15 people in it.
I'm gonna chalk that up to I was too focused on her.
Hmm.
Or
Well,
my yep.
initially I thought everyone was wearing sort of like leotards, and it was like a weird like avant-garde thing, like pantyhose over their face.
Mm,
But
mm.
no, it was just they
Hmm.
were in blackface.
I guess my white brain just like, well, that's how it was. And, but yeah, I don't even literally nothing in my brain about that. But also, last random thing, you know, when she was playing that poor kid in the musical near the end,
Uh-huh.
is that Luffy's outfit from One Piece?
I think it might be. I,
Because
I wouldn't have put those two things together, but yes, I think so.
I mean, it's literally his design. I think she might have been missing the fucking flip flop sandals, but like, come on, guys, that's the design, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's where it came from. But I think yes, that is
Well,
all.
well, now that reminded me of a random one I didn't even write down,
You're welcome.
but there was an outfit she wore for like a half second. I
Hmm.
don't know why they even included the scene because it was completely useless. But she looked like Rosie the Riveter. Like she had the little like polka dot hair tied up thing. She had like a denim shirt with like her sleeves rolled up, and I was like, this can't look like anyone else. Like you all lived through the 40s. Like
Well, maybe it was a reference. I don't know.
I mean, they weren't talking about the war or anything, bro. She wasn't being a feminist, I don't think. It was just like weird. I was like, you look exactly like her. Like, there's no way you all didn't notice that.
But maybe that's
Um,
just how people dressed after a while, and so it's just realistic to dress like that. Boom, checkmate.
I guess,
Well,
but like, yeah.
deflected. Next.
All right, Wiki. So big things here are the runtime. So again, just for
Ugh.
clarity, it went 182 when it premiered. Okay, the
Mm,
sort of actual big Hollywood one.
mm-hmm.
Then when it went public, 154. Still a long ass movie, but reasonable long.
I wonder what they cut.
And then this restoration, 178. So they couldn't even restore everything. They still have a less on this than they did when the movie came out.
What nincompoop thought, hey guys, let's cut this film and then let's throw away what we cut? What? Who? Or maybe not throw away, but let it get destroyed or damaged or too far gone. Who would think to do that? Film's not super cheap, especially after it's filmed and filmed a Hollywood production. Like, yeah,
Yeah, no one knows. And no one knows why they went back to like restore it. Like it just
no,
seems like there is a wiki article here, like a blurb about it. But basically, in 1981, there was like an Academy Award tribute to Ira Gershwin, and they do the musical number, blah blah blah, and they were like, the archivist uh, was reached out to by like the studio chairman to get access because they wanted to see what the removed footage was. And then it turns out that the storage facility belonged to some like film librarian who'd been convicted of grand theft of motion pictures. And so then over the course of like 6 months, they found some missing scenes from where the storage facility was ransacked, but they couldn't find all of them. And so they found the soundtrack in the Burbank Sound Library, but again, only 7 to 8 minutes of the footage could match some of the dramatic scenes, and those things were lost. That's why the discrepant, like 4 minutes in total runtime.
where's that movie?
Yeah. Yeah. The movie about the lost footage in the Grand Theft motion picture.
A star is lost or a star dies, something like that.
Noah, there's your big Hollywood break right
Yeah,
there.
let's get it going. Any
The
more?
star is lost.
What about
um,
box office?
yeah. So box office, again, this is 1956. Variety magazine says it reportedly made around $6 million.
Made?
Correct. The box office, like not
Oh,
necessarily
okay.
profit, not net difference, just how much in box office money in
Yeah.
1956 they right. But again, the movie came out in 1954, so who knows how accurate those numbers are. And then the budget I have here is again from one of these box office mojo things, and it's probably not reliable, but calls it 5 mil. So again, I don't know if that's in today's money or those days' money. I assume it's those days' money, but it doesn't seem like it did very well. Probably because it's fucking forever long.
They got nominated for stuff though, right?
It did get a bunch of Academy noms for actress, actor, art director, costume design, score, song.
Actor
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
Norman Maine.
James Mason and Judy Garland,
Must have
but
been a bad
none of
year.
them won anything.
Oh,
None of
okay.
them won anything.
Must have been okay then.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it for the wiki. Obviously, quick side because we're not going to watch another Judy Garland movie based on this.
Probably not.
Because who cares? And
Whoa.
I'm not ever going to watch The Wizard of Oz because suck it.
It hasn't been rebooted. Oh, we could do The Wiz. We could do Wizard of Oz and The Wiz.
You can force me to do that, but I'm never picking it. She clearly had a lot of problems, blah, 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 addiction, blah, blah, blah. Her life sucked, blah, blah, blah. Teen actor in a time where shit isn't regulated and unions are barely a thing, et cetera, et cetera. She kicks ass and she's dope. And
yeah, but how'd she die?
Overdose at 47. Barbiturates.
It's not a fun way. Well, it might have been a fun way to go. Not a great way to go, I guess.
No, actually, I mean, it's not. I was about to. Never mind. I was about to say it in a not pleasant way, but let me rephrase it in a just. This is a fact way. They did an inquest on her death, and they said that the cause of death was, quote, an incautious self-overdosage, end quote, of barbiturates. And her blood, when sampled, contained 10 1.5 grain, aka like 100 milligram, Seconal capsules.
Is that a lot?
And Seconal is a barbiturate. Most barbiturates, and I can confirm with this one, are sold, let's see, in Seconal reported. So yeah, the lethal dose is 125 milligrams per kilogram. So again, she had 1,000 milligrams in her. So
a lot.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, yeah, sounds bad. Sounds bad. Letterboxd reviews?
Not ideal. I got at least 3. Just because the takes are all over the place on this thing.
Mm-hmm. Surprise.
So this one, first one, Hollywood spectacle and myth made wounded intimate mortal. The way Garland informs this in her own with her own history of addiction and self-destruction is some of the most beautiful acting I've ever seen and completely heartbreaking. Quote, the dreams you've dreamed have all gone astray, end quote. Dude, again, this classic dude wants to be a fucking film writer, but cannot get out of his own basement.
Yeah, I love that. Oh man, there's nothing about this movie where I thought, oh man, Judy Garland's struggles with addiction really helps her.
Yeah, exactly.
Just what a weird way to think, too.
No, it's just stupid. Basically an upgrade of the 1937 movie in every way. Also, I happened to watch the restored 3-hour version, and it's insane that people thought it was a good idea to put in 8 minutes where they literally had no footage and just put still photos over the audio track. Those could have been deleted scenes for the DVD. Those scenes are totally irrelevant anyway and were cut out for a reason.
I don't know. Fully upgraded is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, it's why it was basically my review, but not entirely my review.
Yeah.
And then there were the flip sides of this where people were less ideal. Half a star. Mia writes, a star is boring.
Boom. A Star is Bored would have been better, but boom. Easy money.
And then maybe my favorite one, because that one's witty, but this one's just stupid. 0 stars, but they gave it half a star, of course, because you can't give it 0 stars on Letterboxd. Dragging, draggedy kind of movie. Nobody even sang Shallow.
Okay. Now that one's just good. I don't know. I feel as though Letterboxd should have unscored reviews that are just jokes. You know,
I think that's like what Twitter's for, kind of thing.
That's fair, but I feel like, that half a star is clearly not an actual serious half star. So I don't know. I don't love that idea that that's affecting any score.
Oh, sorry. There's one more. It's just a bad take, but I'll read it. 4 stars. I prefer this story with actors than singers in the remakes. Yet nothing here was as funny as Bradley Cooper pissing himself at the Grammys. Was that funny?
Yeah, that's a weird
I
thing to
was like,
take
I was
away.
like, it's like so hauntingly like cringe and embarrassing and so dramatic in that movie. Like it's not funny at all in that movie.
People will have weird opinions, okay? They have weird takes. That's the beauty of the human mind, You can translate or, infer things differently than your neighbor or
All
something
right.
like that. Okay.
Hit us with the 76.
All right, that has been part 2 of A Star is Born. Join us for part 3 in a few seconds where we talk about the 1976 version. And welcome back to the first ever part 3 of an episode where we are talking about the second remake of A Star is Born, made in 1976, directed by Frank Pearson and written by Frank Pearson, John Dunn or Dune, jury's still out on that, and Joan Didion. Is that what you told me?
Gideon.
Joan
Gideon.
Didion. Okay, big picture. Hit me.
Yeah. It's hot. I get why the
It was hot.
2018 remake did what it did, but the 70s is too fucking much for me. That's it.
Okay. I will say I liked the movie. It's not anything I would rave about. I liked it, and I believe I think I have 2 complaints. My only big huge complaint is that it's very 70s and not Kubrick 70s. I think that makes sense for people listening, person listening. Um, it's just it's got that kind of general vibe and not as though, I don't think the direction was anything crazy. I don't think anything like that. It's just very 70s without really breaching any sort of, it's not going past anything. It's not, whoa, this is a timeless classic. It's not that. It's just not that. But specifics?
Yeah, I mean, Barbara Streisand is a good singer,
Yep.
much like Lady Gaga is a good singer.
They are.
Christopherson is hot and can play sort of country bumpkin piece of shit drunk fairly well.
Yeah, he plays it like too well, honestly.
But the plot on this one, although again very similar to the 2018, lacks a lot of what makes, in my opinion, the 2018 one such a good one. And this one fully pivots to the sort of music star aspect of it all, which again, different, good, I think better, questionably,
I was gonna
depending
say
on
that's
your sort
actually
of
my.
perspective of it.
Sorry, I was just gonna say that's actually my other complaint, but
But yeah, I mean, it's just hard to watch a fucking musical that you don't like the music for. So as
fair.
good of a movie as it could have been in the background, there was like 20 minutes of singing the same song 3 times and then like 2 other songs. I was just like so over it by the end of the movie.
See, I actually liked the song, so that made the movie actually more enjoyable on my end. Anytime there was kind of a lull and then they started a song, I thought, oh, sweet, I get to watch this. Because I mean, if we're just gonna go into the music first, they had that where she was with the 2 backup singers, the Oreos.
Yeah,
When
which
she
we'll just
was,
skip over, I guess, or we're gonna hit that one for a second there.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's playful.
Like it's literally okay. Whatever. Go ahead.
It's not
Okay.
like it's saying anything. It's just she had 2 black backup singers, and she's the white woman in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really don't think
I don't
that's
like what it's saying about Oreos that the main star is the white cream in the middle when clearly the cookie is superior.
I
Okay.
mean, agreed, but a lot of people would disagree, so I don't know. Yeah, but when she was with her group, the Oreos, it kind of had this kind of late era Aretha Franklin, and then when she got with Chris Christopherson's character, John Norman something, when she got with John Norman something, it kind of turned into this, I don't know, Stevie Nicks ish kind of vibe. Not Janis Joplin, but kind of that era. And then by the end, she was kind of just her own rock star, which again, I liked getting a taste of all those different 70s genres, or I don't know if they're wholly different genres, but subgenres, I guess. And like you said, Chris Christopherson, I hate saying his name. Uh, he is fantastic at playing a kind of a tired or a bored drunkard. He's, I mean, just phenomenal at it, to the point that I'm thinking, is he even acting? Or is this just
Right. Like
Chris
he's just
Christopherson?
a drunk piece of shit all the time.
Yeah. I mean, that's a testament to his possible talent. I'm not sure have actual talent, but his possible talent. I will say I liked some of the shots, but it was those shots that I really enjoyed were kind of held back by, like I said, that 70s look. Some 70s films like The Shining still look fantastic. This movie, it's got some great ideas, but I don't know if I would say it looks fantastic, especially near the end when they had that shot of him with the shadows on his face and he was just back to doing drugs and drinking. I just thought was an awesome use of contrast, but that was maybe one shot that kind of stood the test of time. So as much as I want to say it's a huge positive, it's kind of just a little positive.
Yeah.
Also, yep.
Well, I'll just say, I mean, if you bring it up, it's hard to not go back and forth with the negatives and positives, because for me, the cinematography / like DP work was very much a flaw for the movie for the most part. Like, where they do these long, like, fade in, fade out
Yeah,
shots
the acid
instead of
dissolve
like,
bullshit.
yes, yeah, like instead of normal scene transitions. But because it's like actually on film, it doesn't feel like a screen transition. It's like just super grainy and like untextured, and like maybe it was revolutionary at the time and cool at the time, but now
Right.
just looks cheap and gross.
Yeah,
Like
there.
the sun fading into
Yep.
her face.
There was one specific one, and that was it.
Yeah, the sun fading into her face was egregious. Even like the still frame credits of her and then the singing.
Yep.
They had one interesting one where they like pan to like a black wall and then it keeps panning and then there's a new scene.
Mm-hmm.
But even then you can tell where it's cut because there's a big cut between the grainy film and then the next grainy film. But they also do this thing, unlike the transitions, where they put these what's the word, like almost like slow-mo, like they just changed the frame capture rate.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, yeah, I
It's
understand
like
what you're
towards
trying
when
to
a
say.
scene ends. And so rather than it be like actual slow-mo, it's as though they just slow the capture speed down. So they're just taking like fewer stills across the same amount of time.
Yeah,
But it
fake
just looks
slow-mo.
choppy and weird. Yeah, it just looks choppy and weird.
Yeah, that's still a problem, just so we're clear. I mean, that is still an issue even today. I mean, I couldn't name a movie off the top of my head, but I know for a fact a ton of modern movies try to pull the fake slow-mo. Still an issue 50 years later. But yeah, I'll also say I think the acting was nice and subtle. I don't think there might have been some overacting from some side characters like that baby Jesus.
Yeah, fuck
I
that guy.
I thought he was kind of putting it on a little. I mean, I get it. He's trying to be a shock jockey, old DJs. I get that. It fits. It's not out of place. It just kind of detracts from the somber mood that the movie seems to have throughout. It's like, oh, here's this shock jockey who's mad at him and then says he's a classic when he dies and all that. And I mean, again, it makes sense within the movie. It's just not my favorite thing in the world. Uh, Barbara Streisand, I think she does the job. Whether she's as good as who's the original girl from the first one?
Janet Gaynor.
Janet Gaynor. I'm not sure she's as good as Janet Gaynor, but I enjoyed her more than Judy Garland. So it's kind of tough, especially when we're doing three movies, to kind of compare two of them, and only one's a musical, or two are only a musical, whereas one's a dramedy or dramedy. Yeah, but I'll even say I enjoyed even some of the actual framing of the shots rather than actual shots themselves. Uh, for instance, the when they're first kind of in love and they have that bathtub scene of we get to see the entire time, we get to see both of their faces, but one's kind of in the back looking forward, whereas one's in the front kind of looking back. I really enjoyed that. I assume that's some obvious symbolism, but maybe not. Maybe the director just liked how it looked. You never know. But I don't know. There are a lot of individual scenes I enjoyed, but it didn't come together in this masterpiece way. Like the scene where he's showing her the half acre they own. I absolutely loved that scene. I mean, that whole section I loved because he's joking about there being a house there, and she's saying like, "Where's the kitchen? Where's the?" I enjoyed all of that. I'll even say I really like the costuming where he was rocking this cowboy Clint Eastwood shirt this whole time, or different colors, but he had that. It was like, how do you describe that? Like a breast over a breast kind of.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I have no words for it.
Yeah. Well, if anyone's seen a Clint Eastwood movie, they sort of know what I'm talking about, where there is a secondary kind of breast part of the shirt and it goes over even further than a normal button up would at the middle. Again, if you've seen a cowboy movie, you've seen this shirt, but I think it just fit with his character really well. I thought her outfits were awesome. Again, especially when she's in the house, or when the house, quote unquote, when they're talking about the house in the field. Her outfit was fucking awesome there. The one thing that I will say that I weirdly usually like, I didn't love the set design.
No.
Like,
Agreed.
usually I don't even mind. It's either I don't mind it or I enjoy it. But this time it just felt, I don't know what the word for it is. Almost too synthetic. Nothing really felt natural. Even his
Yeah,
big.
as lazy is the word you're looking for.
I don't like using that term for artists. It didn't really flow for me. It wasn't as fluid as it could have been, because I mean, even his empty mansion ballroom. The fact that we had that room with the motorcycles and the two statues and stuff, and then it just kind of, there's no point to it. It's just kind of, okay, well, he has an empty life and empty people, but like, why is there this extravagance? It doesn't seem like he himself, it doesn't seem like John Norman, the character, would have bought some of these things. I mean, why would John Norman have two marble busts of women in I don't know. The cost or the set design wasn't not my favorite, but I will say I love the costuming. I even liked the, what's the word for it? Kind of the dynamic in the relationship more than the other two. I don't think it's a better movie than the first one, but I think their dynamic was more natural to me. It actually felt like she had reasons to fall in love with this giant asshole. I mean, he's a giant asshole, but at least they laid the groundwork for it to make sense, unlike some movies we've watched. Actually, you
Yeah.
know what? The Last Star is Born. But I enjoyed that costuming. I really like that tour sequence near the end, where it kind of just looked like behind the scenes, just BTS shots of the tour, and then they had the talking head interview for a line or two. Then they went back. I mean, it looked exactly like those old tour videos. If you have my parents used to have this Journey DVD, and it had their tour videos, and I mean, it looked exactly like
The
that.
same as that. Right.
Yeah, and so it's super accurate, especially to the time. I mean, it probably, nowadays doesn't look anything like that, but at the time, super accurate. And let's see, the last two real positives I have are the kind of not reuse. What's the word? You kind of adapt something, you change it. I don't know the word I'm looking for. Repurpose. There we go. The repurpose of I just want to look at you one more time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great that they actually just nodded to it into the song rather than it actually being the thing. You know,
Yeah.
he was more of a touchy face guy instead of actually
Right.
looking
Well,
at her.
and he did look at her once, like literally right before getting out in the car, but he didn't actually say the line, which was
Right.
nice.
Yeah.
He did the new nose touch thing, which then Bradley Cooper does both, which is kind of cool. But
Yeah. I mean, hey, we'll talk about like just the similarities to the 2018 one. But yeah, I like that repurpose. And I even really liked when he cheated on her. I think that was such a good, like, I hated him. you know?
yeah,
I
I mean,
thought,
I hated him. This is one of my negatives, which we need to get to, but keep going. Sorry.
no, I just thought it gave a humanity to these movies. I mean, the last two, it's like, oh, Norman's a fucking giant asshole, but apparently he's perfect. You know, he doesn't cheat on you or whatever. I don't think there were any hints of that in the original two. Whereas this one, oh, he's a giant asshole, and he continues to be a giant asshole. You know, I mean, it's one thing to get drunk at the Grammys, you know, whatever. That's kind of your own personal decision, you know, to destroy something like that. But when you cheat on someone, that's like, damn, dog, that's not just your life. You're really screwing up, you know. And I actually really enjoyed that. It made it feel just more believable, in my opinion. And my last positive is I just really enjoyed the one shot ending, just her close up face singing her new song and then it morphing into his old song. I thought that was just brilliant, honestly. The fact that they were able to not only recompose his song, but the fact that it thematically made sense. You know, it wasn't just, okay, she's singing his song. It's no, she actually is singing his song almost to him or to his spirit, whatever you want to call it, his deceased self. I just really enjoyed that. And I think that's about it. Music, costuming, some shots. Yeah, okay, that's my positives.
Okay, thank God. So the biggest problem with this one for me, outside of, I can sort of look past the 70s thing. I can sort of look past that, whatever. She's a great singer, but I, I don't like the songs. I can get past some of these things. What I can't get past is how dastardly of a piece of fucking garbage that man is.
Yeah,
Unlike
yeah,
the other drunks in the other versions of this movie, they're all drunks, right?
right.
They all have, at least in her deluded mind, some redeeming factor. In this one, from the rip, he's doing the weird, I think it was the 50s version, like just grab her and say, "Hey, I love you. Come on with me, honey." And she's like, "What? No." But she only says, like, "What? No," playfully. And it's like, this just screams some dude thinking that, all women, no matter how talented, successful they already are on their own, are just going to be like, "Oh my God, he's got a six pack. I'm in love." Like, it doesn't make any
I
sense.
mean,
And then the whole time he gets worse. At no point does he get better or like have any
no,
humanity other than, again, trying to give her a shot because he sees the talent in her.
yeah, he gets better. He sobers up.
Um, Clearly debatable because of how it ends.
No, he sobers up, then drops back into it. There's about, I mean, halfway into the movie when she's talking to what's that actor's name? Uh uh what's that
Gary
guy's
Busey?
name with the face? Gary
Gary Busey?
Busey. Yeah, sorry. I didn't hear you. But yeah, when she's talking to Gary Busey and saying I'm good for him and he says he's not working, he's sober. Like that's why.
Yeah, but like his character was still being like a little baby back bitch. He was just not drinking now. Like he wasn't good for her just because he was sober now. He was just not, harming himself, which I don't think is the bare minimum a partner should have. Like, if you look at it from her shoes, right? She's a singer who was
Mm-hmm.
independently successful. She was booking
Well,
gigs. She had her own apartment.
successful is
She
not a
had,
word because they needed money.
Well, define needed money. She could.
When they're doing the
She
cat
had
commercial,
exactly.
they needed money.
No. She had such enough money that she could basically intentionally fuck up a job for her coworkers
It was the
and
70s.
laugh it off.
Everybody had
And
some
laugh
money.
it off.
Everybody
And
had
laugh it
money.
off. So they weren't broke as a joke, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, they weren't doing exactly the work they wanted to do, but fuck me, dude, it's America. She wasn't starving. So to feel the need to be tethered to this guy, especially after getting her own success, is like some weird delusional pathologic thinking that it just grossed me out.
Well, I'm not saying she's sane or anything. I'm just saying that at least they gave, I mean, at least they were being what's doting upon each other again in the scene that I'm talking about with the house, or he's showing her the
Mhm.
acre. At least they're doting upon each other. Whereas the last three movies, I don't know if they ever did. Like,
Right. Well, so I will give it that. Like, there was some like love elements there, right? Like they had these fun, awesome moments,
mhm.
but it wasn't enough like to make anyone love it. Like there was nothing about one another. It was just all physical touch and shit. You know, it wasn't like they weren't ever having a
Yeah,
conversation. It was just two hot people touching.
it's
I'm
the
like,
70s, John.
well, again, nothing is inherently negative about that, except for the fact that at no point do they like redeem them for their choices they're making. Like she's sort of cavalier and insane, and he's just a toxic piece of shit. And the
Yeah.
only time they ever seem like semi-normal people are when they're completely alone, isolated together. But then she keeps making these decisions about like, let's go be this elsewhere, knowing that he can never do that. And he keeps just fucking things up for her. Like it's very much the 2018 one without a clear established chemistry that's not physical.
I don't know. I think they
That's what
had
bothers me.
okay-ish chemistry. I'm not saying it's fucking fireworks or anything, but I think it was okay. At least not enough. I didn't put in my negatives. So
Well, no, again, the on-screen chemistry, yes, between Streisand and Christopherson. I'm talking about the characters making any literal sense if these were two real people.
Yeah, but maybe that's what makes it realistic, because some relationships you go, really?
I guess.
I mean, everybody I know, there's an opinion of someone's relationship out there, and it's just like, huh, they're together? Okay, sure. And that's this.
All right, I'll concede that one. Point back to you.
Okay. One of my negatives, my big negative, I don't, it doesn't matter. My big negative is that it lost the meta commentary, which is exactly what I was afraid of. I was afraid of it happening in the second one, but musicals and movies are so intertwined back in the second one, the 50s.
50s, yeah.
Yeah.
54.
So
37,
they were,
54, 76, 2018, bro. Come on.
my bad, the lost numbers. So yeah, the meta commentary I was afraid was gonna be lost in the second one. It actually wasn't, but that didn't do enough to carry the movie. Whereas this one, all that meta commentary is out the freaking window, and any sort of clever, not fourth wall breaking, but any sort of acknowledgement of the fourth wall out the window. I don't hate that it, disappeared. I just really, really, that's not my preferred option. I wish they had done something that could have, you know, just touched base on it being a movie or something, maybe even they could have done a nod to, this documentary crew, or just something, just anything. And instead they just threw it all away and said, we're going to make this a musical about a rock star and just kind of forget everything else. And that's actually my biggest problem with the movie.
That's fair.
But
Agreed.
my other negative is just the 70s, 80s of the time stuff. They're just
Yeah.
things. You specifically mentioned it before, the ending. I thought it would have been so gnarly if, as she was singing, it went black screen, title card, and she kept singing. But instead it did that freeze frame garbage.
Yeah. Freeze frame garbage, indubitably.
Because, if it had just title carded right over her face while she was singing that last crescendo big, payoff, it would have been awesome. You would have literally left the theater being like, damn, a star is born, And instead, freeze frame, credits. It takes away all the impression you might get at the end.
Yep.
That's all my actual negatives, though.
Same. I mean, again, I'll recapitulate, but the Frozen screen transition shit, the big bright sun in her face, the 70s of it all.
Yeah.
The house also was egregious. The painting of her name on the wall, like, give me a fucking break. Bro.
I was actually more impressed by how easily he did that than anything.
Yeah, no, that was cool. That was cool as fuck that he did it, like the actual acting behind the scenes shit. But the doing it is crazy work.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. I watched that and thought, how do you...
Right, backwards cursive, signing with spray paint.
That's
Climbing up the stairs.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess I could maybe do it, but even if I did my own name, I'd still have to kind of think about how does it connect, It's not, he wrote a letter backwards. It's, no, he did it cursive, so he'd have to have that forethought. And maybe, it took 20 tries, who knows?
Yeah, but he practiced a bunch on a bunch of shit and then just had it one take. Because again, it's like a house, like you're seeing, they didn't like recreate that staircase at the set. Probably they would probably just use someone's real house and then paint it back over the white wall. But crazy.
Any other negatives?
Not really. No.
Okay, I got a few et ceteras. One is, why did critics hate this movie so much? I don't know. It's just kind of a general question. Don't really get it.
I mean, define hate.
I'm telling, like, a lot of reviewers are saying that Chris Christopherson sucked and that, what's her face? The main one, I just forgot her name.
Streisand?
Yeah, Barbara Streisand. One said it was like a waste of her talents or some stuff like that. I'm telling you, man, just read some of the blurbs. People critics did not really enjoy this movie. Here's another et cetera that kind of ties back to our last episode. It's funny because obviously Barbara Streisand and Chris Christopherson are obviously songwriters. So this original music actually sounds like music, whereas a Bigger Splash.
No.
Tilda Swinton sang a song that felt as though it were literally just written that day for the screenplay or something, and it just even if it was a real song,
words to a guitar strum, da 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 da.
Yeah, like, symbolism, story, plot, words. Yeah, it was just that. Whereas this, you could tell that a group of songwriters actually got together and actually thought of these songs. I was just mentioning that. And my last et cetera, Barbara Streisand, when she was producing this, or talking to producers, I don't know her actual position. She wanted Elvis to play John Norman.
Oh, we were going to get there. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
I saw it on Amazon X-Ray and I'm thinking, how old was Elvis?
A similar age, I think.
Was he?
Born in 35. I think Chris Christopherson was born in 37.
Really? I just thought Elvis was so much older for some reason. I don't know why.
Elvis was one of the kid wonders.
Huh. I really thought Elvis was just older.
Chris Christopherson's 1 year older than Elvis. Or 1 year younger than Elvis, excuse me.
Huh. Okay, maybe that's not as crazy as I thought. When I read that, I thought, are you fucking, like, do you want to sleep with the grandpa?
Well, what's crazy is Barbara Streisand, just in your head, is much younger than you think she is. She's like 83, She's born in 1942.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I just thought Elvis was older. I guess that's me problem, I guess. Also, it would have been awful
to have Elvis in this.
No.
But it would have been awesome to have watched.
Yeah.
It would not have been a good movie. It would have been an objectively worse movie, but it would have been awesome to watch.
I mean, I couldn't even imagine this kind of 70s cowboy rock translated to Elvis kind of 50s rock. I would have hated
there would be no way he couldn't be Elvis, right? Like, he can't act. He would just be like, "Hey, baby," Larry fucking Johnny Bravo.
I mean, he's in a few movies once upon a time. I've never seen them, so I couldn't tell you. But he was a Hollywood thing for a minute. once upon a time. But that's all my notes.
All right, quick wiki then, because you already spoiled one of the best parts, was Elvis was going to be the fucking lead,
Blame
and the only
X-Ray.
reason, yeah, and the only reason it didn't happen because he was interested in the part, apparently thinking it would revive his film career, is
Ew.
that his manager insisted he have the top billing and get an exceptional, like, huge lump sum of cash injected before it even started, and he hadn't been in a movie in like 8 years, and they weren't sure like how well this was going to do at the box office. So they were basically like, "Yeah, dude, we're not doing negotiations with you. You're insane."
Yeah, that
So then,
sounds insane.
then Neil Diamond and Marlon Brando were both offered.
I don't see how Marlon Brando did he make music at all, or are they just
I have absolutely no idea that he ever made music, but he is in fact an actor.
Yeah, I mean, definitely an actor for sure. Neil Diamond, Chris Christopherson, Elvis, they're all musicians who became actors.
hmm
So
But
Marlon
yeah, I don't know. I don't know
Brando.
what happened with Brando, why he didn't do it, other than maybe the age thing. But Diamond apparently like went to the same high school as Barbara Streisand, which I didn't know, and really wanted it, but also had like other commitments
Well,
with
I,
like the concerts and shit.
I just imagine Marlon Brando reading whatever the gist. They might have not had the script or whatever, reading the pitch and being like, "I'm not a musician," you know.
Right.
Just,
He's like, I think you all said this one wrong because this can't be for me.
I mean,
And he's also like 10 years older than the other males.
is he? God, I don't know old actor ages,
Yeah,
do
he
I?
was born in 24, so that
Damn.
would have been 12 years older than Chris
Marlon
Christopherson. So he would have
Brando's
been
older
like,
than Elvis. Is that what you're telling me?
yes, he would have been like 52, and Barbara Streisand would have been like 34.
My brain hurts.
Not like crazy, but
I always thought
pretty
Elvis
old.
was older than Marlon Brando. Never, uniquely
Right,
thought that.
right,
But
exactly. It's like those things. This is like one of those classic ones I always pull up, but like that Napoleon was alive like during like the U.S. being a thing. Always like fucks with my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, that's like a different point in time, right?
Or
But,
how what's the other one? We're closer to Cleopatra than she was the pyramids.
right, that is one of those,
Yeah.
which still doesn't make sense, but people keep
Mathematically, it
telling me it's the truth.
does. Okay,
All right.
Letterboxd or
Anyway,
more wiki?
no. So the box office. So $6 million at the time.
Budget?
$80 million. Yeah, $6 million to produce, budget, the listed stuff. $80 million is what it made in the box office while it was out.
Nice.
In today's money, $34 million cost. So a pretty cheap drama for again the huge star power that it has. Fucking Gary Busey, come on, that name alone.
What's
Which
hilarious? Sorry.
Well, the 80 million is 455 million. It was a fucking monster of a film.
I mean, yeah, I mean, what?
Second highest grossing movie of the year. Rocky was number one.
Oh, I mean that does make sense. That does add up a lot.
But it beat King Kong.
Well, I don't know if people love the 70s one. I don't know if that's actually. I don't think people absolutely love that one. That was the Jeff Bridges one. I don't think people adored it as much as they do the old ones and the 05 one.
Whatever, bro.
Just saying.
You were gonna say something else too, and then I distracted with King Kong.
Oh no, I just think it's funny. I get Chris Christopherson and Nick Nolte and Gary Busey. They're this triangle of names that I constantly sub out. So watching this movie, I was thinking, okay, Nick Nolte, even though it's Chris Christopherson. Then I see Gary Busey. I'm like, oh wait, that's Gary Busey.
Right.
I don't know why those three names. I do. And to see two of them in one movie was kind of blowing my mind a little bit, but nothing important.
All right. For my letterboxes, I created a new way for me to do these. So I have way more funnier ones.
Nice.
And unfortunately, thus more of them. The very last one is not that funny, but it is a good gag. So I'll have you, I'll have a whole thing for it. But 1 star from Raymond Shreke. 30 minutes in, my mom turns to me and says, "See, this is why I hated the 70s." Again, agreed.
Wow. Wait, okay, sure. Why?
Because the 70s sucked, dude.
But 30 minutes in, I don't know.
The atmosphere, fucking what's the word I'm looking for? They white people dressed.
The
Eesh.
cowboy outfit went hard, okay?
Um, we also didn't talk about his body enough, just for the
I
record. He
mean,
was looking insane,
it
dude.
goes
Like,
unsaid. That body fat was none.
yeah, zero, dude. He looked like Brad Pitt in freaking Fight Club. Like
He looked
everyone's
better than Brad
dream
Pitt.
body. Well, I know. I just mean like, everyone's dream male body is like sort of like very like lean, muscular, like not actual Superman buffed up to insano mode, but he
Yeah.
was looking insane.
I mean, he was almost shirtless 75%
The
of the
entire movie.
movie.
Yeah, intentionally so. And also like a little glistening, like they rubbed oil on him or
Just a
something. It
little.
wasn't sweat.
Just a little. But yeah, I
This
mean, it's hard not to look at when you're watching the movie.
right. This next one, just because it's again, I think a point that we would have had contention on, and we did.
Mm-hmm.
1 star for Matt Goldberg. It was a bold choice to make a romance movie where the leads have absolutely no chemistry. I was like, thank God I wasn't the only one that felt like they weren't like,
I don't
yes,
know.
literally they as two hot people have that hot thing, but I was
That's
at
all
no
you need,
point
baby.
believing that they were like attracted to each other to fucking want to be married.
Yeah, but look at those abs, bro.
Morgan, 1 star, just gives us sort of a generalized rating system. 1937, 2018, 1976, 1954. And
Sorry, run that by me again.
so 37, 18, 76, 54.
Okay, yeah, I actually think that's correct.
Yeah, the only reason I thought you might like it is because it's exactly what you think. I just think the 2018 and the 37 switch, but I agree with it everything else.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Um,
Huh. Crazy that someone's actually done it.
Yeah, and 10 people liked it, so.
Yeah, good on whoever that is. Morgan, did you say?
Yes, Morgan.
Good
No
on
last
Morgan.
name.
Good job.
This is 1/2 star from Jeremy Calcara. Just says sucks, spelled out with literally like 20 letters each letter.
Mm-hmm.
And it says this was really hard to watch. Sorry, this is a really hard movie to finish. The 1/2 star is for Gary Busey, not because he's good, just because he's there.
Fair. I also, it's funny to me. I'm thinking this was hard to watch. How many movies have you seen?
Right. Yeah, not many probably.
It's not a masterpiece, but hard to watch. Are you sure?
All right. And then the last one, just tell me to stop when you get the bit, but this is from Annika. It's 5 stars. Barbara Joan Barbara Streisand, born April 24th, 1942, is an American singer, songwriter, actress, and filmmaker. In a career spanning 6 decades, she achieved success in multiple fields of entertainment, has been recognized with 2 Academy Awards, 10 Grammy Awards, including the Lifetime Achievement Award and Grammy Legend Award, 5 Emmy Awards, including 1 Daytime Emmy, a special Tony Award for American Film Award. So it's literally just her wiki page copy and pasted for the whole review.
Awesome. No notes.
It's pretty fucking good.
It's okay. I read a review blurb for this movie, and it was one of those giant, pretentious sacks of shit reviews.
Oh, actually, wait. I did skip that thing from the wiki that I did want to read. Robert Ebert gave it a review. He gave it 2.5 stars, and he said, "There is, to begin with, no denying that Barbra Streisand's an enormous talent. At the end of A Star is Born, the camera stays on her for one unbroken shot of 7 or 8 minutes, and she sings her heart out, and we can see that she's one of the greatest stars of the movies, one of the elemental presences. I thought, however, that Miss Streisand was distractingly miscast for the role, and yet I forgave her everything when she sang." So it's like he basically just thought kind of what we thought, like, yeah, she's cool and all, but I don't know that it's the right move. And
yeah, but to be fair, I think she literally helped produce this, so I didn't think it wasn't even really like, oh, they casted this woman. It was no, she was the driving force. Just adding context. Doesn't change anything.
That's fair.
Any more?
No, that's all my stuff.
Okay. Is it a well, this is actually kind of complicated.
Yeah, well,
is it a reboot or a deboot?
This one's a deboot for sure.
I think it's a deboot of the first one, but a reboot of the second one. I think.
Right. and
safely
the
to
debut
say.
of the last one.
Well, the last one.
We both
Should we
agreed
talk
on that.
about the 18 similarities?
I mean, it is the same movie, just with slightly more plot in the 18 and somehow slightly less singing, despite you thinking it was one of the longest musicals you ever watched. So.
It did feel long. I stand by that. I didn't even remember saying that, but I stand by it. I will say it's kind of interesting how much the 18 one is dislike the first two and so much like this one. It feels as though, they have nods to the originals, but it feels as though they just rebooted this specific version, which is
For sure.
kind of interesting when you think about it. I mean, why would you not try and reboot the other two? Why would you not try and incorporate? Did you just love this version so much that you said, you know what? I can do that.
I don't want to be that realist guy, but money, if I had to guess, this was the popular one.
This one made the money. Yeah. No, I think that could.
Because I definitely think, especially now post Stars Born fame, Bradley Cooper could have done the OG one and made it awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But again, he chose this one and still made it awesome. So I have no notes, but it was definitely money.
I think, you know what? I think you might be onto that because, I mean, at least there's some sort of semblance of, okay, this made X money. We can make Y money. So,
right.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't factor in the budget. I was
again,
just kind of.
Barbara Streisand, Lady Gaga.
Right.
Yep. The only reason, again, weird that Bradley Cooper sang, but he didn't do bad and he took the appropriate, action. I actually thought, weirdly, Chris Christopherson did not sing very well.
I was about to say he sang better than Chris Christopherson.
Exactly. So
Chris Christopherson's
a singer.
He seems like he can sing really well in the studio, but when they were trying to get that ADR, it wasn't doing anything for him.
It was not happening.
Last thing before we're out of here. Who directed the 18 one?
I think Bradley.
Was it Bradley Cooper? Oh, okay.
Star is Born 2018. Getting my intern on it. Yeah, directed by Bradley Cooper. Nice. And partially written by him.
Nice. Good idea, Brad. Okay, that'll be it for this episode. This 3-parter, 3-week-long episode. It's gonna be an hour and a half, hour 40 or something.
Hell yeah.
But that'll be it for this episode. Join us next time in 2 weeks' time, not 3 weeks, where we watch the Danish movie The Guilty and its 2021 American remake. Until then, we are out of here.
Peace.
They're the worst. They're the worst.